Let's take a few questions while we're at the very start here, or one question. What does Elazer think about burrowed infestors and how silly they are?
I don't know. They are useless in ZvZ, ZvP, and they are good in ZvT.
Yeah.
That's what I think. But it depends what style you play. For example, I play like Link Bane, sometimes Mutas, so I'm not sure. Like they are good for sure. I'm not sure if they are imbalanced, but I don't know.
They're not as useful against the Protoss units because the Protoss units are beefier, they're
Yeah, I
bigger,
mean,
right?
I think it's just useless. Like you don't use Infestors versus Protoss.
Yeah. I mean,
Like you will just get feedback or like observer, and you will just lose all your Infestors. It's and you don't have money for it.
like I think,
Like you prefer to go for Broodlord or something.
yeah, like I think definitely maybe not at pro level. If you can make an Ultralisk style work, then that's great. The thing is, Ultras don't really work against the top level Protoss because they always use Immortals as the base of their army, and Immortals just wreck Ultralisk. So it's like, well, if you're not using them, what's the point in having Fungal, you know? All right, so this is a really cool opening from you. Let's talk about this game. I'll take some more questions as we get later. You've gone 14 hatch on the gold into a Gassner pool. Talk me through this opening.
Okay, so pretty much before this game, I talked with True, who played this, and like he gave me like the tip. Okay, if you want the hatch on gold, you need to go for 14 hatch. I was like, okay, fine. So I did this, and yeah, I just copied True build order, so I don't really have big insight into it. You pretty much go for 14 hatch, so it doesn't get like it cannot get blocked.
Yeah.
And like this is the main thing about this build order. Then after you make like 20 drones or something, and you just start spamming Zerglings and try to deny vision, break the back rocks. I mean the like front rocks.
To get in their back
You
door,
know.
yeah.
Yeah.
And then,
For example, most of players, what they do is they just drop into their natural base and attack into their like main ramp. But I thought like, okay, it's actually doable to break the rocks at the time, like for the correct timing, so that you can push from the three sides at the same time.
and that just makes it impossible for the Protoss because I mean the big way Protoss players would defend this sort of build, this big Ling Queen drop, which is what we're going to see in this game, guys. The typical defense was always pull your probes, clump them together with your adepts around your gateways, your pylons, and you just kind of like overwhelm the Zerg units as they get dropped, right? And you keep your wall alive as the Protoss player, and the Zerglings and Queens just get surrounded by the massive probes and Protoss units. And even if 10 probes die, the Protoss is still ahead, right? But if you split in two locations, I mean, if the Protoss splits their probes up and starts trying to fight Zerglings with them, they're kind of bad, right?
And yeah, this was very awkward for me. I thought like, okay, so he went with Magic Core to overcharge here, so I thought maybe counter-attack will work, but it didn't really. So I thought like this was very bad for me, I think. But yeah, at least he wasted one overcharge, and he lost one adept. So I don't know. I thought it's okay for me.
Yeah.
After this opening.
Do you think you should have just kept the drones on the low ground and then put them back to mining on the gold, since you know it doesn't last that long?
I don't know. I don't know. Maybe.
I think you should have. I'll give my 2 cents. But
Okay.
I think it's yeah. So either way, you're going all in though, right?
What if he came with adepts to the low? I don't know.
I guess that's what you're worried about, right? But realistically, like in hindsight, like I understand your thinking. In the heat of the battle, it makes perfect sense what you did.
Yeah.
Right? On the spot, it's the best decision if you don't have it pre-calculated. But I think now, with the benefit of hindsight, we can probably say that I don't think he could both defend his wall and have an adept at your mineral line that early, because you've seen an expansion. Like I think playing very safe like that, if he's on one base, is very smart. But I think because you've seen his expansion and you've seen this pylon rush, like you actually can just go back to mining the minerals straight away once the overcharge runs out.
Yeah, no, very important thing is that you never want to fight when overcharge is there. Like you really want to bait it out, but you never want to fight versus it. If you try, you will most likely lose the game.
Goodbye 300 Zerglings, right? Like the overcharge will just kill so many units.
The Queen drops is very good to like tank the probes or like just tank everything.
Now, I notice here you're just kind of A-moving. Do you think you should maybe have focused the pylon slightly faster there, or...?
Maybe, but I'm also controlling like the back, his natural base, so
Yeah.
it's hard to like do everything at the same time.
Yeah. I love
Yeah,
that.
here obviously this engagement is not good for me, but I don't know. Always room for improvement, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, it's so hard to micro this stuff perfectly, because it is happening so fast-paced.
Yeah, and at least my chances were always on point. I didn't lose a single queen, which is very good.
Yeah. And now that you've gotten down to 12 probes, like, I guess you sense you've killed a lot of workers, right? So you kind of know that if you just keep building Zerglings, there's a good chance he can't defend both
Yeah,
mineral
and look at
lands.
my macro, it's so terrible. I played this so badly.
That's what I love about your analysis of your games always. It's like, every game is like, oh man, look at everything I did wrong. But, yeah. It's always
I mean,
funny watching your tournament
it's so
matches.
hard to play this timing because you want to micro everything. Like the micro alone is so hard with this timing. So and you always want to like constantly produce queens, inject with those queens, and like make reinforcements with those queens, which is super hard because you need to pack them into Overlord. And yeah, it's not easy. It's not easy for sure.
Yeah. So yeah, he does tap out there. I mean, he had a few Zealots, an Adept, an Immortal, a Stalker left, but his natural was about to go down. He knew he was going to be 1 base versus a 2 base or 2.5 base Zerg with a gold. So yeah, GG, well played, man. Put on the aggression. Before we, I mean, this is
Yeah,
one of the
actually with
last
this
times.
timing,
Yeah.
I can add something out to this. I mean, like if it doesn't work, the first wave, if you don't break the Protoss, you just constantly like produce the queens all game long till you have like 8 of them. You add Baning Nest because you saw maybe I had like 150 gas at the end of the game, so you can add Baning Nest, and like the next push you do it with like 8 queens, maybe 6 Banings, and you can really break a lot of stuff with this. And pros usually don't expect this follow up. So yeah, it's really strong. If the first wave doesn't work, you can still like come back into the game. I think.
Just hit with another wave of YOLO.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, and then it's strong. Like there was a point where I played this timing like in the past, like maybe half a year ago, and I did this maybe 20 times, and I won every single game. Like even if I like totally screwed the first, like if I didn't kill a single probe with the first wave, I just came back with the second, and I was winning everything with this.
Wow. So what do you think of Dasan Station? I mean, we're not going to see this map again. A lot of people hated it. I personally am of the opinion that it was super overpowered for Zerg versus Protoss and very powerful for Terran versus Zerg and very powerful for Protoss versus Terran. But specifically in this matchup, do you think Zerg was favored?
No. It's a good map for timing attacks, so you will never see me play a tournament game, like a macro game on this map in a tournament. There was one time where I played macro game. I think it was during WCS Montreal versus Petit Dorgo, and I just got annihilated because for timing attacks, this map is good. You can go like proxy hatch, you can go for this link, Baneling drop, there's a lot of mind games. You can just go like Road Ravager all in or something. So this is a very strong for like 2 base timings for Zerg.
Yeah.
But if you go into macro and Protoss gets like 2 disruptors or more, the game is over. You cannot engage into him anymore, and he just makes more disruptors, and it becomes impossible to win.
All right. Cool. All right. So this has been pretty awesome, man. So let's answer some questions from chat. Let's have a chat to these guys. Elazer Fanboy says, is it better to open Overlord speed or no Overlord speed? Recently I saw you go no Overlord speed, so I'm wondering if you changed your mind since BlizzCon.
A bit. Like I talked a lot with Solar, and it helped me a lot. Like I pretty much know right now when I want Overlord speed and when you don't need it. Like it depends on the map a lot. Like if you think you can scout without Overlord speed, you don't really need to make it. Like you just make it, for example, on map like Whirlwind right now, right? Because you will never scout Protoss without Overlord speed. So on this map, I recommend you do it because you will just get surprised and you will lose the game. But on map, for example, like Overgrowth right now, I think you can sometimes make it, sometimes you don't have to at all. And if you can get a big advantage like hatch, pull hatch or something, like a very good mineral opening, then I guess it's worth skipping overload speed. Or sometimes you can see Protoss go for like Nexus first, and then you pretty much know like what can he do from this, and you can also skip overload speed. So there's a lot of like situations.
The tech gets pretty delayed with the Nexus first, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay,
Or
cool.
you can like if you sneak in Zerglings, you cancel the overload speed. So yeah, there's a lot of stuff you can do.
Awesome. All right, so just while we keep answering questions, I'm just going to put the Galactic Process replay on your camera, just as some eye candy for the people watching the stream. Shakra says, Elazer, when or if ever, do you ever go for double evolution chamber versus Protoss?
Again?
Do you ever go double evolution chamber against Protoss, and when?
Not really. Not lately. Maybe I should rethink my styles. But right now, at least from what Snoot says, and I kind of agree with him, like the defense upgrade doesn't really help versus Protoss. I mean, it helps with overcharge, I guess, if it doesn't one-shot banings anymore, but besides that, it doesn't do anything, so you only want melee upgrades or range upgrades. So,
Yeah.
and it's very expensive, so you will lose to some timing attacks or something if you go for double upgrades, I think.
All right, good answer.
So there's no point, but yeah, maybe. Like I would have to rethink that.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. A good question about carriers. Since it's 3.8, everyone's been whining about carriers, or maybe with good feeling. Carriers have been pretty crazy strong. How are you dealing with them, and how well is it working?
I mean, they are quite strong. I agree, but still. Okay, so how I deal with them, I won't tell you because it's a secret.
Yeah, no worries. That's fine. That's fine.
But you can go, for example, if you like Hydra timings don't work, you can believe me that. So you just don't go for Hydra timings, and the only other option is like Corruptors. So what you can do is you just go 100 drones, 5 base, and you get like double upgrade Corruptors, and they work quite fine, I think.
Okay, like 5 base, 10 gas, 5 bases, saturation, like insane.
Yeah, and you just max out on Corruptors, and then you one-shot every carrier, and till like top Grandmaster, it should kill everyone that plays carriers.
Nice. Awesome. All right. Well, thank you so much for coming on the show, mate. I think we've pretty much answered all the questions. I don't think we missed any of them. Yeah, I've just scrolled through. We've answered pretty much everything. This has been a good episode. So, gonna split it up into a couple of VODs for the different games and so on. I guess I'll just throw the question time in the last VOD along with this, and yeah, that should be really good. So, awesome, man. I do want to say a massive thank you for coming on. Yeah, I really appreciate the insight and everything. You're going to be playing at WESG next month. Is that your next big tournament?
Yeah, exactly.
Awesome. All right, well, good luck over there. Hopefully you're enjoying a little bit of Christmas time, family and food and whatever the hell else, and holidays. School's almost finished, or do you get much of a break?
No. There will be a break soon, but not long.
All right, awesome. Well, you guys who are watching can go follow Elazer at ElazerSC2 on Twitter. You're currently looking for a team, right? You're in between teams at the moment. Is that right?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So people get on it. BlizzCon semi-finalist, and yeah, I look forward to watching you in the new year, man. All right, well, thank you very much for hanging out, and have a good night.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Cheers, man. Good night.
Good night.
All right, guys. Thank you very much to Elazer for coming on the show. Of course, big thank you, everyone, for hanging out. Tomorrow, we're going to be doing ICFAR. Unfortunately, I think it's probably too late to send replays in for ICFAR unless you do it in the next few hours, in which case maybe it'll get in. I'm not sure how many submissions we have. I think we'll have quite a few because it's a fun topic. It is going to be knife fight in a phone booth. where you've got to shank the other guy before he shanks you. You're only allowed to go to 40 workers, so you've got to win before you go past 40 workers. If you go past 40 workers, the replay is invalid. And sometimes the game drags on and it's hilarious and it's ridiculous and it's crazy. It's a really fun challenge. So try finding that out. ICFAR information is down below the YouTube video and it's also there in Twitch chat. Thank you very much, guys, for hanging out. I hope you appreciated Elazer's time. Go say thanks to him on Twitter. Go send him a tip or something like that as well. Thank you very much for hanging out. Goodbye and good night. Don't forget to hug a watermelon, kick a cactus, and hug a garden gnome. Thanks for hanging out, guys. That's all for now. Goodbye and good night.